This is Chuck Suter of ConstitutionalWar.org, and as you're all aware, there is a groundswell, a movement underway to remove John Boehner as Speaker of the House and replace him with somebody like Louis Gohmert. I want to focus on the 6th District of North Carolina, a guy who has been elected named Mark Walker. He had a very strong position in the primary when he was running against Phil Berger Jr. and ended up in a runoff. Phil Berger Jr., he had a little bit of a tactical, establishment type strategy, just want to work with leadership. But Mark Walker wasn't having any of it. Let's roll the tape and get this thing started.
All right, would you vote against House leadership if you felt like pending legislation was bad for the 6th District, Mr. Berger?
Well, look, what we want to do is we want to make sure when we go to Washington, we have a constructive relationship with everyone there. Republican, Democrat, Independent. We don't want to get in a situation where we're boxed in and not able to get good committee assignments for the people of the 6th District.
Okay, well, that's not music to my ears, but it does seem pretty honest, and honesty is pretty important when you're sending somebody to a faraway city that thinks they know how to run your life better than you know how to run your life. Let's hear the Tea Party champion Mark Walker straighten this guy out, though.
Mr. Walker.
I think we just heard the most political answer that we may hear today. Didn't answer the question again, talked around it. I believe the question was, would we vote against leadership at different points if it went against where the people were? Let me say on camera, absolutely yes.
Hell yeah! Wait, right on, brother. Keep talking.
Doesn't mean I'm trying to go be a cowboy. My opponent won't answer that question, obviously. But there are times where John Boehner does not represent the people of the 6th District. People of the 6th District need somebody who'll fight for them. See, I haven't made all these relationships in Washington, D.C. If you look at most of his endorsements, they're Washington insiders. You look at where his money comes from, it's Washington insiders. Some of that's been arranged for his family. But there's a clear distinction. If people that you send to Washington, if you're a representative, won't sit and look John Boehner in the eye, will he look Obama in the eye and say, no, sir, our people wouldn't agree with that? You can count on it. I'll stand and fight, and I will very clearly say, yes, I will look John Boehner in the eye and say, no, sir, we're not going that direction today.
Right on, Mark Walker. I love it, man. Looking John Boehner right in the eye and telling him, we ain't cutting no deals. We ain't playing this no more. This is about the Constitution of the United States of America, which is a sacred document. Man, this is the stuff I live for right here. This is music to my ears. Although, Mark, you did take a $10,000 donation from John Boehner. But let's see where this goes.
Do you want 30 seconds?
Well, just quickly, we've gotten over 400 individual contributions to my campaign. We've got a grassroots organization that is outstanding and ready to work in November. And that's what we're focused on, doing the right thing for the people of the 6th District. Now, will I vote against John Boehner or any other individual who seeks to impose legislation that's not right for the 6th District? Absolutely. But will I work with leadership to make sure we can get things done right here in North Carolina? You can bet that.
You got him on the ropes. Knock him out, Mark. Oh, he'll vote against Boehner if something is wrong. I mean, come on. Lay down some examples of why you would stand up to John Boehner.
Well, I think there's a pattern here already. When you're aligning yourself with the Washington insider crowd and it takes you that long to say that you'll go against the leadership sometimes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Mark. How long does it take some people to say, I will go against John Boehner? I mean, Mark Walker, this guy, he said he would vote for Trey Gowdy over Boehner. Now, Gowdy's not running. Gowdy should be pressured to vote against Boehner, even though he nominated him. Whole nother video there. But, hey, look, Mark Walker is laying it down, making promises to his constituents right here. And you've got to embrace something like this, don't you?
That doesn't mean that you have to go up there to Washington and you're trying to act like you're the end result of some kind of great orator or political skill. But the problem is sometimes, and we've seen it, John Boehner's weak on illegal immigration. I would ask the question to the opponent, when John Boehner, if he's still Speaker of the House in January, wants to pass immigration reform that's not as tough as your talk, are you willing to go against him?
You're damn right, Mark. Look, Obama's amnesty has passed, though, and Boehner has already pushed for that. So if it's not as tough as your talk, are you willing to go against him? Or are you looking for a cop-out like, hey, I said I would support Trey Gowdy, but now I'm just going to support Boehner? We only need 29 reps to vote against Boehner on that first ballot. Nancy Pelosi has no chance. 59 Republicans would have to either vote present or go vote for Nancy Pelosi, so don't try that BS with us. I'm not a freaking retard. I'm an adult. So if I'm not accusing you of pushing that, but some establishment idiots are. But is your rhetoric as tough as your talk? Let's listen again.
I think there's a pattern here already. When you're aligning yourself with the Washington insider crowd and it takes you that long to say that you'll go against the leadership sometimes, it doesn't mean that you have to go up there to Washington and you're trying to act like you're the end result of some kind of great orator or political skill. But the problem is sometimes, and we've seen it, John Boehner's weak on illegal immigration. I would ask the question to the opponent, when John Boehner, if he's still Speaker of the House in January, wants to pass immigration reform that's not as tough as your talk, are you willing to go against him?
Mr. Walker, it's January, and John Boehner was a step ahead of you. He passed executive amnesty from Obama through the Omnibus bill. And you, sir, have not come out and said emphatically, there is no way in hell I will vote for John Boehner as Speaker of the House. Credit to Phil Berger Jr. Although I don't like his rhetoric, at least he was honest and said, I will capitulate to John Boehner because I think it's going to help me out with committee assignments or kickbacks or I don't know, whatever it is. No offense, Mr. Berger Jr., because I'd like to stay in good cahoots with your daddy, who's the most powerful man in this state right now. How you doing, Phil? I'll tell you what, Mark. Let me be frank, because 2015 is the year the gloves come off for constitutionalwar.org. You guys thought the gloves were off? No, they weren't off. They weren't off. Sorry. They're coming off. Mr. Walker, you should be leading the charge against John Boehner. You've told numerous constituents that you were against it and now you're trying to backpedal. Well, now maybe that there is a movement and others have been the bold penguin who jumps into the water at the edge of the ice and dashes through the sharks and the seals and all that good stuff. Maybe now you're ready to jump in that it's easy. You know, it was Mark Twain that said, in the beginning, the patriot is a scarce man, scorned and hated. But when, in the time when his cause succeeds, the timid, which is you, Mark Walker, at best, you are the timid. The timid will join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. I'm that first penguin. Most of the time, that's why I'm constitutionalwar.org, and you should donate at constitutionalwar.org if you like this video and the other videos that I put out there. But Mark, you've got to save face, brother, and it is saving face. And those who would say, oh, Chuck, you shouldn't put it out like that, then he can use your video as an excuse to why he voted for Boehner because he isn't going to be bullied and bullied. I'm bullying him? I'm some idiot in his garage with a video camera that's busting my butt to save the Constitution. Mark Walker is an elected representative. Sir, you have not said that you will vote against John Boehner yet. Why? David Brad has. Louis Gohmert has. Massey. Walter Jones. Have you been talking to Walter Jones? Ted Yoho? Pretty soon they're not even going to need you to vote against Boehner. But you will. I mean, if that's what happens. It's kind of like the defunding Obamacare when that went through the House and Robert Pittenger and everybody said, there ain't no way in the world I'm voting against funding for Obamacare. I just want to fund. I mean, I don't want to fund it, but we got to do it because blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is a type of BS that you guys try to push on us. Mark, you're already in the wrong. You've not even been sworn in yet, and you're totally on the wrong path, bro. Believe me, I'm not like this in person. I'm just really frustrated right now. And if I see you in person, I will talk in a very feminine voice and shake your hand and say, "Hi, Mark, mind if I do an interview with you?" Because that's what it takes now in America. That's what it is, man. It's just, your red blood, forget about it. You're not allowed to have that. But Mark, you should be leading the charge, dude. You should be beating Robert Pittenger over the head and Patrick McHenry and Richard Hudson and Mark Meadows saying, "Hey, Mark, me and you, we're Mark and Mark. Mark and Mark in the morning, some type of radio show you guys come up with or something." And Mark Meadows and Mark Walker are both saying, "Yeah, we're champions of the Constitution." Why aren't you doing it, dude? Why? You think I'm the only one freaking out about this? You think I'm the only one that's thinking this crap in my head? What is wrong with you? How in the world do you go from what we just watched to, well, I don't know, I guess I'm just going to vote for John Boehner. I mean, I'm going to look at all my options. Look at all your options. Lead the charge, Mark. Lead the charge. For then it costs nothing to be. The timid will join them. For then it costs nothing to be a patriot. Are you waiting until it costs you absolutely nothing, Mark? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm pointing out obvious facts that people are sending to me and asking me to make this video. And a lot of them don't even like me that are sending this to me. And they're starting to wake up and say, "Holy crap, the lunatics are running the asylum. Nurse Ratched is the craziest person in this building." Mark, you're a man of God. Or at least you claim to be. Have some frickin' courage. Support Louis Gohmert. Or whoever else. You're not comfortable with Louis Gohmert. Support Thomas Massey. That would be really interesting, hey. Or support Walter Jones. Vote for Walter Jones on the first ballot. Come on, Mark. I mean, anyways, this video has gone too long. I think I've made my point quite clearly. And I think that everybody knows exactly where you are, Mark. You're behind the curve and you need to get in front of it right now, starting as soon as your people watch this video. This is Chuck Suter of ConstitutionalWar.org, an organization that you can follow that website, ConstitutionalWar.org, and go there and rip out your wallet, pull out your credit card, and donate to me so that I can keep doing this stuff.